Hi, teachers. This is especially for our teachers in grades 3 through 12. We know that it's already January and our report period will come to a close again soon. We put together some best practices based on our first report period and ways to help you make sure that your gradebooks are syncing. So once you have a schedule created by your APO, it automatically opens a course shell in Schoology that is going to sync to the gradebooks in eSchool Plus in the Teacher Access Center. So in Schoology, when you create a graded item and grade them, that sync is going to send those grades to the Teacher Access Center, which ultimately will be used for your report cards. We've put together a few pages here that are going to be important. So one of the best ways that you can avoid some of the issues at the end of the report period is to set up your graded items. Important are the due date, to make sure that you have a specific due date for each of your graded items. Have a grading category, and that would either be these elementary categories or these secondary categories, and making sure that you use completion ungraded for anything that is ungraded. Ungraded, the generic category will cause a sync error, so do not use that one. And also make sure that the blue and white check is next to the sync to SIS. Here's an example of what an item would look like with the due date, the grading category, and the sync to SIS button. If you go through this video, it'll show you exactly how to do that for your discussions, your assignments, and your assessments. You can also put grading enabled for your external tools as well. In the next lesson, it's going to cover two very important things that you should do on a daily basis. One is that you should make sure that if you see an error, if you hover over the error, it's going to tell you exactly what you can do to fix the error. And so every day, you want to make sure that every item gets to success. If you have some errors, once you write down, so for example, this one says there's a due date that's not within the school calendar, so it has to be a school day, you can use the triple dots in your gradebook to open the bulk edit and make those changes. And then what you'll want to do is you're going to want to hit the sync changes button either here or this two arrows. These two arrows here are the sync changes button. Hit that every day. As you make changes to any of your graded items, that is going to make sure that the sync between Schoology and eSchools is active. So hit that at least once a day to make sure anything you've done in Schoology is syncing appropriately. So that sync status log is definitely going to be your best friend when coming up with errors to make sure that everything is going from Schoology to Teacher Access Center successfully. However, there are times where things are in the Teacher Access Center that don't belong there. So we've created a Cognos report that you can run to identify when those items exist. So for example, if you created a graded item and changed it so that it's no longer in Schoology, it's going to still be in Teacher Access Center. So there's going to be a list of those in your audit report, and you can manually delete those. So this report here is just going to tell you a little bit more about how to fix some of the errors that you are seeing. Don't forget, you want to make sure that any item you've graded is published. Otherwise, students will not see those grades. So publish and use the disable to keep students from submitting. Please publish anything that has received a grade, even past work, and make sure you use that past work folder. All right, this is just a sneak preview. Make sure that you review this entire lesson so that you learn a little bit more about the ins and outs of making sure your gradebook is syncing. If you didn't configure your gradebook because you have a new one, we put a reminder on how to do that here. Thanks and good luck.